My name's Colin Ferguson. I play Sheriff Jack Carter on Eureka.
My name's Eddie McClintock. I play Special Agent Pete Lattimer on Warehouse 13.
Awesome, and this is MasterAbbott from Capsule Computers. We have Ben, we have Darren, we have Jess, and we're going to be throwing some questions, and we are ready to go. Who is first? Ben? Ben.
Alright guys, you both work on a sci-fi film, TV shows. Are you fans of the sci-fi genre, or is it just something you came into through work?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, I mean, I grew up watching Lost in Space and...
Wow, you're old.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, dating myself a little. I loved old films like Day the Earth Stood Still and all the classic sci-fi.
Metropolis?
Yes. Alien was a big one.
Right.
Alien.
I think for me, like, it's hard to not like sci-fi at this point because everything is sci-fi. You watch CSI, it's half sci-fi. You know what I mean? There's so much technology and there's so much science fiction in every genre at this point that it's really funny how it's everywhere. Wow, terrible answer. Fail.
Well, like on Warehouse 13, we have the Farnsworth, and it was kind of a big deal to be able to communicate visually. But then now, within the last year, they've come up with FaceTime on the iPhone, so
Yeah.
now you can actually do that. So we're not cool anymore.
Yeah, same as on Eureka. They had when the show started, we had these little PDAs that didn't have a keyboard or anything, and when we got them as actors, we're like, well, this isn't gonna, it's not gonna work. Like, okay, so what am I supposed to do all this thing? And then years later, the iPhone comes out. Now everybody has them, and it's amazing how my lack of vision. But I was actually given a prop and told how it worked, and I was like, that'll never work.
I got in trouble for PDA in high school a few times.
Public display of affection.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. Just by myself. Just in the hall.
Just make it out yourself.
Yeah. Anyway.
Along the same lines, do either of you have a particular episode or artifact or something that inspired you to do further background research on it or interested you in particular? In terms of Warehouse 13 or an episode?
Well, the problem more for us because our stuff is based in science, so there's research to do. You can't as much research.
Yeah, it's kind of they make all this stuff up. So.
Yeah, but it's always it's always interesting to find out how much of the concepts that we deal with are real and are based on articles that they've read or conventions that they've been to. So it's always strange when you go, oh, that'll never work, and they say, no, that bit's real. We actually have that bit already. Specific examples that I have off the top of my head? No, none. Here, stall. You talk for a second.
Well, I know that one dude that works on your show he worked on the Cassini satellite.
Space probe?
Yeah, the space probe.
Oh, Kevin.
Kevin, yeah. So he has an actual NASA scientist working on his show. We just have a lot of sci-fi nerds. Big brained sci-fi nerds writing on our show.
So most of the Warehouse 13
cool.
artifacts and things were based on urban myths and...
Yeah, I mean,
different
for instance, my favorite is...
Frozen hot dog.
Frozen hot dog, you never have enough of those. Again, with the PDA tie-in. When the Abe Lincoln's hat, when Pete put Abe Lincoln's hat on, he had a irresistible urge to free Mrs. Frederick, which I thought was ingenious.
That's great.
And the fact that we can get away with that on the show without people, screaming, that it's politically incorrect, I think speaks volumes for the show.
Yeah.
I think kind of one of my favorite things about the show.
For us, it's mostly your dialogue. When you're learning your dialogue, it helps so much to know what you're saying. So I remember one up. I think it's glycolic acid. Alpha. What is it? Alpha glycolic. Something. It's a big long thing, but you learn about it just to get your lines out. Okay, so this is a chemical that exists in the brain to help the dendritic connections and all that stuff. And so that's when you end up learning for us.
Yeah, for me, they just they have me make fart sounds, and that's kind of like, Eddie, did you practice your fart sound for today? Yes, good, go. So I don't have to learn any of the big brain stuff. So
I rarely do. So it's, but I like to know what the guys are saying.
Yeah, on the same note kind of thing, this is more at Colin. In Eureka, you're kind of probably the dumbest character. Because everyone else is super
I like
smart.
to think I'm just a wolf in sheep's clothing.
So how is that? Just basically, you don't have to say any
What's it
of
like
the
being so
lines.
dumb?
Yeah.
It's awesome. I mean, you come to work and you see all these people stressing out because they have like the speech that's like this about all sorts of like global gases and all this stuff, and I just have to go. And that means what? Pardon me? That'll never work. Let's unplug it. That's like end scene. That's about what I do. So I love it. I think I definitely have the easier job. They do the heavy lifting.
Totally.
Alright. So your character obviously is, well, I wouldn't say less intelligent than the rest of the cast on the show.
No,
but
neither would I.
She just said it.
Yeah, she said it. I didn't back her up.
I think she said dummy.
Yeah, she said so. Being an idiot.
And this is because he's from like the outside, outside of Eureka, that he doesn't have the background knowledge of everyone,
Yeah.
and that makes him more relatable to everybody. So would you say that's part of character, or would you say he's actually a dummy?
No, I'd say he definitely couldn't be a dummy, because if he's a dummy, then they're dumb. And I didn't think you said that he was dumb. Well, because he's very good at his job. I see that, Eddie. He's very good at his job, and if they put someone in charge who's an idiot, then they're fools as well. I think he has a what would you call it? Sort of a natural knowledge or an instinct that they key into, and he can sort of get away with not knowing all this stuff because he pulls it out in the end. Probably very similar to your character. I would
A
say.
sixth sense, as it were.
Mm.
Maybe
Maybe even a
your
seventh.
character is an alpha.
Yes.
Huh?
And maybe we're both alphas.
Crossover.
Yeah,
both
exactly.
alphas, yeah.
We'll go on as brothers on
right.
Alpha.
Who knew?
You're good. Specifically for Eddie, you've mentioned that in the past you've been in a lot of pilots that you thought were going to be hits but didn't turn out to be anything. When you first saw the script for Warehouse 13, what were your initial thoughts on it? Did you think it was going to be as successful as it has become?
No, I mean, I never think it that far through, because I think when you do that, you're just setting yourself up for disappointment. You read it, you decide whether you think that it's, that whether or not you could play that character, and excuse me, and then you hope for the best. So I never think things that far through. I thought it was interesting enough to go in, and when I met with the head writer, I just thought it was clever and fun, and I thought that it could have a possibility of getting on the air. So I hadn't worked for a while, so. All right, I said it.
You did.
I did.
And it was
feel
okay.
better. I
It
feel
was
better.
okay. Yeah.
I went to Planet Me and gave myself a hug. So yeah, man, I needed the money, Jack. Yeah, it was just it came to me like any other audition, and I got lucky and got the job. So
Must be a blessing though as well to be part of something that's a lot more, I guess, magical and more interesting than a role like CSI or just a cop in a...
I mean, nothing against those shows.
No,
Obviously, they have their own thing that they do that's successful. They stay on the air somehow. Did I say somehow?
You did.
It slipped out.
It
Wow,
did.
I did.
Oh.
Luckily for me, because of like you said, the show's ability to be so wide in scope in regards to storylines, I get to play different things every week, and I get the pleasure of being funny and serious and heroic and brave and loyal and loving, and he's really got a lot of dimension to the character and to the show itself. So I feel lucky in that regard. I think I've only done this maybe one time.
Was it fun though?
Not in every episode. It was fun.
Yeah.
I was gonna dye my hair red and do it, but then I'd be stealing someone else's gig,
Now it's an homage.
if you will.
Yeah, definitely.
Alright, so Eureka seems to have two main rules, which is, the first one is chucking Sheriff Carter into the most dangerous situation possible and letting him deal with it. And the second one, which I've kind of noticed, is that you get to basically be half naked a whole lot of
Yeah, I've noticed that too.
Woo!
Yeah, woo!
Hi.
But yeah, how do you feel about either one of those?
Well, the naked thing is always weird because because they're beautiful, beautiful women on the show that I work with, and they're never naked. Like what? Like, so I asked them. I said, what's up with that? And they said, well, we're like an 8 o'clock show, and the girls are really, really pretty, but when you're naked, it's funny. And I was like, whew. I don't know how I feel about that.
Emasculation table of one.
Yeah, exactly. I'm like, okay. So it's always scary. When you got to be naked. There was one scene I had to do in the middle of the street, like in Chilliwack, and great, that's awesome. And we're not a show that has enough money that we can sort of lock off the whole street and stop, little looky-loos. So my character had to walk down this, like, leave the sheriff's office, walk down the street, and it was a dream at the end of it. Yeah. But it's not a dream, Eddie. I really have to do it. So there's a crowd of like 200 people, and I'm like, morning. I gotta walk across.
So what did you wear?
Nothing.
What?
I was naked.
What?
There was a part of a shot where like I was wearing a sock. Yeah.
A sea sock?
A sea sock? What's a sea sock?
Cock sock?
Oh! I was thinking like the ocean, like sea cucumber. I was like a sea sock.
I didn't want to say cock on camera. There, I said it.
Yeah. So that's always a moment where you sort of. Yeah.
It's brave, man.
It felt brave. It was also chilly too.
Oh, it was cold?
Oh, yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Ooh.
Just for anyone who was there, it was freaking cold, man.
So you're like, look, it's cold and I'm Irish, okay? So no judgment here.
And the other thing was getting hurt, right?
Yeah.
And yeah, that seems to be free. I mean, my shoulder is still torn. Got a torn rotator cuff. But I do a ton of your own stunts.
I do as many as they'll let me do anymore. Season 1, I kind of tore my shoulder out,
Yeah.
so now they're just like, no.
Yeah.
But I want to, but...
There was this one in Chilliwack, same street. My stuntman Fraser was, and I was just burnt. So I always do all of them, and I said, could Fraser do this one? Because I'm just not in my right head, and I've never really been injured. So Fraser goes through this thing, and he's carrying a prop like this. Does a dive forward roll, gets caught under his collarbone, pops his collarbone out.
Oh.
Right, and so we go through that whole thing, and literally within 2 seconds, they're like, right, we need it again. Colin, could you step in for Fraser? He can't do it again. What? Why? Like he's in pain. He's crying. He's a grown man. He's crying. I don't want to. So yeah, there's a lot of getting hurt, but that's just part of the drill.
So you actually get hurt on the show, but you're actually getting hurt?
I'm actually, well, it's like one of those things, like when your character falls down a set of stairs, you're not acting like you're falling down a set of stairs, you're falling down a set of stairs, so it really hurts. And I find the stuff that hurts the most is the falls. Like even though there's a mat or even though there's a thing, it's an impact, like it hurts.
All right, cool. We got probably one more question. We've got to keep it quick too. So Ben, last one.
Continuing on like funny set moments. What is the funniest thing that has happened on or off set on either show?
Hey, go.
What?
That's hilarious. Oh, good stories. Good stories and good times.
Thanks. I guess one that we laughed about the most is this past season, Lena, who she's Janelle Williams plays Lena, and we went into a computer game in the episode, and all the female characters, Fargo had made them with giant chests, right? So she also has wings. She's like a fairy or something like that. So she flies away, and Pete runs over and goes, how the hell does she get off the ground with those things? And then Micah goes, they're wings, Pete. And he goes, right, wings. But he's talking about her booties. And I thought that was funny.
Awesome. Well, thank you very much, guys. We
Really?
hope
We're
We're
we're going to leave it like that. That is awesome. That's what we need. All right, we're going to have to leave it there, guys. Thank you very much for your time. We hope you enjoy Australia, and I hope everybody listens and watching this on Capsule Computers website and also on our YouTube channel. Enjoy it. Leave a comment and like us as well. Thanks, guys. Enjoy your stay in Australia, and good luck with everything you guys do in the future.
Absolutely.
Once more Vegemite.
Vegemite, yes.
I'll eat it.
Thanks, guys.
Thanks.
Sure.